Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Ashley and this is Faithful Rattos. Come and join us to tier rank pet supplies for rats. Okay, so I'd seen another YouTuber do this. She is a YouTuber for rabbits and she was tier ranking rabbit supplies, and I thought it'd be fun to do it for rats. So I went ahead and made a tier rank on the website tierrankings.com, something like that. I'll leave the link to the ranking down below so you can do it yourself, and maybe you can share your rankings with me. But I made it myself, and I put on it everything that I could think of, things that I really like, things that I think are essential, things that I would have but wouldn't use unless it's an emergency, and things that I think are absolutely terrible and that every rat owner should avoid. So this is going to be really cool and exciting. If you disagree with my placement on any of these things, do let me know. And do your own ranking. As I said, I'll leave the link in the description so that you can rank your own and decide how you would rank them. So I will go through the ranking profiles for you so you can see what they mean. So BOGGLE WORTHY, I think, is self-explanatory. These are some of my absolute favourites, more than essentials, things that I think are my absolute favourite things that are BOGGLE WORTHY. Essentials are things that I think that every rat owner should have but aren't necessarily exciting or special. Then back of the drawer is things that I think you should have but you won't really use very often. And then you have emergencies only, which is things that I would only use in an emergency. Say everything else that I would prefer to use is out of stock or something like that, that this would be an acceptable thing to use but only in emergencies. And then you throw away is things that you should not use under any circumstance and things that you should throw away. Alright, let's go. So the first thing is like a generic cat food. I think this is throwaway. I don't feel like there is a need for it. I think there's a need for good quality cat food, but if you're only going to be feeding a poor quality one, there's no point, so that goes in throwaway. Then we have the self-adhesive bandage. That's something that I think you should have in the back of your drawer. It's not something that you're going to use all the time, and it's not necessarily something that you're going to use for every rat, but it's a good thing to have on hand, something to have in the back of the drawer. Then we have Science Selective. I'm going to put that in emergencies only. Science Selective is the best nugget available on the market for rats, nutritionally wise. However, I would not feed a nugget except for an emergency, so it goes in emergencies only. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to be ranking is this on the cage metal bowl. I absolutely love them. It doesn't save everything from going in there. They do get full and you do have to change them out quite frequently, but my boys absolutely love water bowls, and there's something about having bowls and bottles that really helps my anxiety when it comes to them getting dehydrated. So for me, those bowls that attach to the side of the cage are BOGGLE WORTHY. Next, the same goes for these water bottle holders that are woven. The Rattery, Rainmaker Rattery, where I've gotten some rats before. I'm planning to get some more from. She makes these woven ones, so I get them from her. These are much better than these stupid little wire things that break, very difficult to keep the water bottle on with. Those I throw away. They come with every bottle, and I throw them away. So the next thing is an air purifier. I think this is BOGGLE WORTHY. It's very good for you to keep the smell down for you, and it's very good for the rats to keep the smell down for the rats, and make sure that it's not too dusty for them. It's also very good for if you have any other pet. I really do recommend that. Then we have these horrible little sawdust creations. It's not just fridges, they come in houses and toys and things, but these are just sawdust stuck together with honey, which is obviously really, really bad for animals because they will chew them and they'll ingest them, and ingesting sawdust in large amounts is not very good, so I'm going to put them in throwaway. So next is the Pets at Home nuggets. Go into throwaway. Not only are they nuggets, not enriching, not nutritionally balanced, they also have very subpar ingredients and have been anecdotally linked to an increase of health issues. So I'm going to stay clear of those. Then next we have these like just generic sort of rat treats, I'm going to put them in back of the drawer. I do have them and I do use them, and there's certain ones that are better than others. However, I do prefer to give my rats either nuts or like fresh food, or even the treats made by Pepperoos, which not necessarily just the treats made by Pepperoos, but homemade treats made by small businesses that actually care for rats' needs. I really do like the Pepperoos treats. I'll leave a link to her website down below. She also makes hammocks and hammock perches. This hammock perch right here is made by her. But treats in general, they go back of the drawer because I do have them and I will feed them sometimes, but I have better alternatives. So then we have forage feeders that come in a variety of different looks. So forage wheels, those little balls, ones like this, just in general forage feeders. I think they are essential to have for your rats, so therefore they go in the essentials row. Next are litter trays, and that speaks for themselves. I think it's essential. It keeps the smell down, it makes it much easier to clean, you have to clean less often, and I feel like my rats are quite proud of themselves when they use a litter tray, so that's another reason why I like it. The same goes for rope. I think rope is an essential part of a rat's cage, as you can see. So I think that's essential. A good hoover is also essential because no matter how high your tray is or your kick guards, you will get stuff on the floor all the time, and so a good hoover is very useful because you're going to be using it most days, in my opinion. Hi Kay, did you want to say hello? No, Kay does not want to say hello. He's running away. I love these sort of cardboard houses. I'm going to put them in BOGGLE WORTHY because I think they're so exciting. I don't know that my rats find them that exciting, but I find them super exciting, so I'm going to put them in BOGGLE WORTHY. And they can come in a range of different like shapes, sizes, themes. I think they're really fun. I love them, so they're going in BOGGLE WORTHY. Okay, now we have these cuddling scarves. I'm going to put them in back of the drawer only because not all rats will like to stay still in them and not all rats will actually enjoy being in them, but they are a good thing to have because for certain rats it's very helpful for bonding with them. So I'm going to put them in back of the drawer because I do have things like this. It's not just something, but it's not something that I think is essential, and it's not something that I think is BOGGLE WORTHY either. Just because not all rats like them, and you don't necessarily need to have them. You can always use a dressing gown or a hoodie with a big pocket, or like a hoodie turned back to front so you have them like in the hood. You don't necessarily need one of these. I think they're great and I have one, but I don't think they're essential. Okay, tiny ass cages, they are going in throwaway. I hope that's self-explanatory. Nice large cages are going in essentials because that is obviously an essential to have a good size cage. Not necessarily doesn't have to be the one in the picture. That is a Critter Nation as the first cage name that came to my head, but it doesn't have to be that one, just a suitable size one. So next we have a good quality cat food. Here the example is Lily's Kitchen, but there are a lot of different good quality cat foods or dog foods. Lily's Kitchen is going in essentials. Then we have Mr. Johnson's rat and mouse mix, or in general like a generic mix. I'm going to put these in emergencies only, like with Science Selectives, because they're quite good, especially if you run out of what you normally feed, but it's not something that I would run to the shops to buy. It's not something that I'd buy often, and it's not something that I think is generally a good idea to have, but it is okay to use in an emergency. Next we have wire or metal wheels. Those are going in throwaway because those are very, very dangerous. They can get their toes caught in, they can get their fingers caught in, they can get their tails caught in. It could be an absolute nightmare and it could be very, very harmful and dangerous. So those are going to go in get in the bin. Then we have bed max. So bed max for me is back of the drawer. I will use it. I don't really have any, like, I don't think it's bad or dangerous. It just doesn't work very well for me and my rats. But I will use it if I run out of my preferred substrate. Water bottles are going in essentials. It doesn't have to be these basic ones. There are a lot of different water bottles on the market, but I do think that water bottles and bowls, the use of them combined is very important. It gives them the choice, and both of the pros and cons for water bottles and bowls are sort of swapped, so having them both sort of covers everything in my opinion. So I like to have them both, so I think water bottles are obviously essential. Chew toys, essential. That just speaks for itself. They can come in a variety of different looks. I like to get mine usually from small businesses, a rat's tail, or accessories. Oh my god, the door again! Sorry, I don't know what that was, but Cade is here. I also found out that Pullman and Pyrite were galloping under my bed, so I had to deal with that. But we are going to get back to the tier ranking, and sorry for all the interruptions. If I was a different person, maybe I would just record it again, but I don't want to. Okay, so we are now on Carefresh, and again, this is an emergencies only thing. It's something that I would use, and it's an okay bedding for like nesting, but I wouldn't use it as a substrate, and it's not something that I would recommend people use unless an absolute emergency, just for like a couple of days whilst you're waiting for whatever substrate you normally use to come. It's also very expensive, so I don't really recommend it for that reason. Branches, now this is just supposed to represent branches in general, big ones and small ones. I think they're essential in a rat cage. A hospital cage is something that you need to have, but I'm stuck between having it back at the drawer on essentials, because it's not something that you're going to use all the time, but it's something that you need to have. I'm going to put it in essentials because I think a hospital cage is something you need to have, and it's not something you're going to need to have it in the house, so you can use it when you need it, and not like, you know, go out to buy it when you need it, if that makes sense. Then we have a playpen. This is something that I would say back of the drawer for me, because my rats will just get out of it very easily, and they don't enjoy being in a playpen. They much more enjoy just being out in our living room, which we have rat proofed, if the doors remain closed, that is. But some rats enjoy playpens, and for some people it's necessary to keep them sort of safe because of, you know, they can't rat proof properly, so it's better for them if they can have them enclosed. And it doesn't have to be a playpen like this. There's also different types of playpens that work better for some people, but it's not something that I would use, but it's something that I do have, especially for when you're socializing babies. Obviously you don't want babies running around everywhere, but I also recommend using a closed off hallway if you can. I think I've shown that in one of my videos before, just because I find it easier to control them and you don't have to worry about them like jumping out. So there's that. Then we have cargo nets. I'm going to put them in essentials. I think it's an essential part of a layout. The same with hammocks, although I don't think you need too many hammocks in a rat's cage. I do think having a place to sleep is essential, so I'm going to put it in essentials. So then the next thing is a Shunamite based mix. This is a picture from one of the rat rations mix. I think they are boggle worthy. I think they're absolutely amazing and something that everyone should use. So I'm going to put that in boggle worthy. With a carrier, I think a carrier will go in essentials. It's something that you need to have, whether you need to move the rats anywhere or going to the vet or something like that, or even for introductions. A carrier is very important, so I'm going to put it in essentials. I think hay is a wonderful nesting material, as is like what the paper sort of nesting materials. I'm going to put them in essentials. I think it's up to you which one you use. I use both and I like using both, but there we go. I also use Finicard as my main substrate. I'm putting it in essentials for me because I use it, as you can see, and it works wonderfully well for my boys, but for some people it doesn't work that well, and that's okay. But I think it's an acceptable, a good, and a solid choice if you're wondering about which substrates to use. Then I'm going to put rat harnesses in throwaway. I think they're unnecessary. You don't necessarily need to have them. I don't think you should be really taking your rats outside because they don't really benefit much from just being outside. There's predators, there's disease. I don't think it's necessary, and there's no need to have a harness when they're indoors. Just use a playpen, make the room rat proof. So for that reason, and they're also quite dangerous for their sensitive and delicate skeletons. Okay, moo mix. I think this is something you need to have in the back of the drawer in case a rat needs to gain a little bit of weight in case one of them is unwell and needs to take medications. Moo Mix or Wait Up Baby, I think those two things are essential to have, but it's not something you need all the time, so I think it's something you should have in the back of the drawer. My boys don't like Moo Mix, they like Wait Up Baby better, but you get the point. Then just empty cardboard boxes. I'm going to put empty cardboard boxes in Boggle Worthy. My boys freaking love them. I think most rat owners will understand that. My boys freaking love them. Okay, IKEA tie holder I think is an essential. I mean, it's not necessarily an essential, but things like it, fall breakers, are essential for the cage. I think Tic Tac wheels are Boggle Worthy. Will it let me go up? I think they are Boggle Worthy. They are the appropriate size. They are very well made. And I think they're Boggle Worthy, as opposed to the other wheel that I mentioned. Then we have the last couple of things. Hi Hester, you're distracting me. This is Hester Pester. He is an old boy now. They're about 18 months. You're getting old. He's running away, he doesn't like being called old. Sawdust is going in throwaway. It's way too dusty, and it's long been proven and known that it's not an appropriate substrate. Basket, I'm going to put in essentials because rats absolutely love a good basket. My rats have a basket right there. Hold on, sorry, I can't point very well. Right there, and I have one just up here too. They love a good basket to sleep in. Fleece liners are going in throwaway because they absolutely are not acceptable. I'm going to be soon making a video about why fleece is not acceptable. It's not acceptable for rats, and the people who use it, I want to shake some sense into them. And bioactive soil as a substrate, that is going to go in Boggle Worthy. It's not something that I can have at the moment, but it's something that I aspire to, and I think it's absolutely amazing for rats, and I think it's something that people should want to provide for their rats. Okay, that is all the things. I'm going to save the ranking. So here is my finished ranking. If you want to screenshot it and compare yours, that'd be really fun to do on Instagram maybe. My Instagram is faithfulrattos, and yeah, go follow me over there. Like and comment what you think about where I ranked the items. What would you rank it differently? Are there some essential pet care supplies that I've missed? Do let me know, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.